What is up? What is up, YouTube? How are y'all doing? Check this out, man. These videos, god dang, we bouncing back and forth. Ali Carter fires back at Jaguar Wright. And exposing her lies. Lord have mercy. Everybody got to tell the truth. Jaguar Wright was paid off. How is that happening? Paid off by who? And why would somebody pay her off to actually say bad things about Ali Carter? I don't understand this. Some of these titles, man, I don't understand. But anyway, Uncle Mike gonna break it down to you, baby. Ali Carter fires back. Now, Jaguar have said some things about Ali Carter because she got pissed off at Ali because Ali started talking about the Black Panthers. Now, if you don't know, Jaguar Wright has said that she is a Black Panther. She supports the Black Panthers and all that good stuff. So I don't think Ali Carter or Jaguar Wright is intentionally lying to us. There's AI where you can clone somebody's voice and all this Photoshop stuff and all this crap that's out here, man. Lord have mercy. Lord, please don't let nobody Photoshop my voice. We already listen to me, Photoshop my voice. We already downloaded some software and I paid for it to actually clone my own voice. And that's how you're supposed to use it. Because I type up something and I'm sitting there we're trying to put these videos out faster. But the voice, it sounded like me, but it sounded a little robotic, and it sounded too straight and narrow and everything and all this type. And they using these AI voices. More than half of the videos that you hear that's going through all this stuff is AI voices. You can pick the type of voice you want, male or female, dramatic, harsh, with an accent, all this stuff, man. Or you can download and use your own voice. So we downloaded and used my own voice. We got one video we did with it, and it wasn't human. It didn't sound real. So keep that in mind while you watch this video. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
What happened to TikTok? I just got live access removed and I'm banned until January 3rd of 2025.
Now, why these people getting banned?
They don't like me.
A lot of stuff happened in my life with the family I was with. Okay. CPS reports go back to 3 months old. I remember 4 years old, and everything took off from there. All right. So never in my life did a lot of the stuff seem wrong.
That actually done what he done. I clarified it that though Mr. Carter has done things to me, he did not do that thing to me directly himself. That's not a backpedal, that's a clarification.
What if everything you thought you knew about Jaguar Wright and Ali Carter was a lie? The drama between these two is exploding, and Ali Carter is firing back, claiming that Jaguar is making up stories and getting paid off to do it. The tension is real, and the accusations are flying. Stay tuned as we break down the shocking details of this feud and reveal what's really going on behind the scenes. By now, I bet y'all know about the fight. And y'all, her tale is harrowing. Ali claims that she was an unfortunate victim of all this Diddy drama, saying she was taken advantage of when she was pretty young, before she hit the legal age, for a matter of fact. She bitterly and emotionally describes how she was pimped out at one of the infamous Diddy FOs she was forced to attend. She claims that the party was called an all-black party, not because a lot of the celebrities who attended the party are black, but because the youngins being exploited in these crazy parties were actually black.
It's not just celebrities, there's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16. Things of me that probably don't make sense, but I was a kid. in all of this situation, everything that we're talking about, everything that I've been talking about, I was under the age of 18.
And that's not even the sickest part. She claims that at these parties, anything goes. The poor young ones are the center of all the entertainment, being put on tables in the middle of all the guests, after which the partygoers could have their way with whichever one they fancied. This is just so grueling to imagine, and we are sickened that such disturbing events might actually be going on in the shadows of Hollywood.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up.
Oh,
that's satanic
God.
ritual.
There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having sex in what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes. There's party favors.
And Allie claims she unfortunately lived it. She goes on to say that she was young and had basically been brainwashed into thinking that it was an honor to even be in the same space as these famous people who were just there to hurt her. I know it sounds unbelievable and absolutely sick, and Allie not only gives a clear account of all this, but also cries out about all the young ones who experienced all this. She says that although justice has started taking its course by trying to take down these elite celebrities like Diddy, there is still the bigger picture about the young souls who went through all this. Nobody cares for the young ones, and this absolutely breaks Allie's heart.
P. Diddy get guardianship of a lot of young kids. That means he holds their contracts. I know you've heard me talk about Allie's contract and how often it gets auctioned off, and the things that come from that when it's auctioned.
Don't give a shit because it happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that, you know, you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that. I was like, oh, it's fine, you know, it really doesn't matter. But then it really did matter.
And y'all know this revelation from Allie caused a major storm in the whole world. The big dogs who control Hollywood are shaking in their tracks, afraid that their alleged horrible secrets are now coming to light. Allie is truly a brave woman for courageously telling her story, and we hope her words are taken seriously and the law gets to the bottom of all this. Similarly,
I don't care what anybody say, Allie Carter is bringing awareness. She lying now. Her mom is getting into it. Her sisters, two sisters is getting into it. But guess what? She's bringing awareness that we have a problem. That's the one thing I love about her. And Jaguar Wright. So that's where I stand at on all this. Awareness.
Jaguar Wright has always been as vocal as Allie in calling out the top Hollywood bigwigs, just like Allie did. In fact, Jaguar came out and has been speaking about all the alleged misconduct of these celebrities way before Allie, and she hasn't relented ever since, although she claims she was not a victim of all these alleged crimes. She says that being a part of the entertainment industry exposed her to all the rot that goes on in the shadows.
I gotta ask you this. I'm sure somebody's already asked you this, but have you ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, several, many, honestly.
And so, can you take us through, like, what goes on, like, when you were there?
They did their job. He's a He's got guns, and he's got semen-coated fucking VHS tapes.
No.
I would have went in a hazmat suit.
And Jaguar has been singing like a canary ever since. She openly talks about attending Diddy's infamous parties, saying a lot of weird stuff goes on in these Hollywood parties. She describes the insane amount of substance use that goes on in the parties, breaking down in detail a cocktail of substances that are commonly taken in the parties, from ketamine, cocaine, hallucinogens, downright to Viagra. Y'all, these are some pretty high-grade and extremely illegal substances being casually taken in these insane parties, and it's all just unbelievable.
So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the ketamine in there, and they say that some of the dealers add the ecstasy in there. Now the Viagra, you still got to take that solo. But with the Tipsy, you got all of that. The cocktail. Golf cocktail in the one thing.
And that's not all. She goes ahead to call out even more celebrities, saying they were all part of this huge f***ing cabal. She even names Bishop T.D. Jakes the last person we could ever think might be allegedly involved in all of this. And the other celebrity she is extremely vocal about calling out? Jay-Z. Yep, Jaguar has relentlessly pointed fingers at Jay-Z, saying that he is worse than Sean Carter. Now that is pretty wild comment to make, claiming that someone is worse than the man who is already in prison facing an insane amount of charges and lawsuits.
So can you take us through like what goes on like when you were there?
What did I say when y'all asked me about why was the TD Jakes at the Diddy party?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Money. And
That's correct. Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
no.
That he was recording these?
Of course, he is the J. Edgar Hoover of hip hop.
She is yelling at them.
Okay.
Y'all done seen him put on the pyramid with a skirt?
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak-offs now.
Yeah.
That is something, is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Jaguar claims that Ha was complicit of most of Diddy's misconduct, took part in the insane parties and exploitations, and is now allegedly using Puff as a scapegoat, letting him go down for all the alleged crimes while he struts around scot-free. She adds that Jay-Z is next to get nabbed just like Diddy, and it looks like she might have a point. Tony Busby recently refiled a civil lawsuit in New York, including Jay-Z as a defendant in a case that involves the alleged essay of a 13-year-old back in 2000. Man, it seems the first domino already dropped with Puff getting incarcerated, and all might just come crumbling down on all his former associates.
The Jay-Z victims are gonna be worse. They're worse. Because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does. Like I said.
Do you think Jay-Z is scared right now?
Oh, he's terrified. He's terrified.
Billionaire rapper Jay-Z is accused of being a 13-year-old girl accused, along with Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Jane Doe in a lawsuit says the assault happened at an after-party that was following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City back in 2000.
Well, I know by now you're probably wondering where the feud between these two fiery ladies originated from. Well, damn, if these two are actually speaking about the same issues and calling out the same big names in the industry, then why the hell are they beefing? Well, it all boils down to some remarks Jaguar Wright made about Allie.
It was put upon my spirit to issue out that invitation to a conversation with Allie Carter. And ever since then, it's been a...
So, get this. After Allie openly made her claims and talked about her experiences, Jaguar jumped on an interview where she was being her usual controversial self. She called out the people who harmed her and dropped a huge bombshell about Allie. She alleged that Allie was in serious danger and that the Hollywood execs were trying to silence her. They didn't want to get outed anymore, and she feared deeply for Allie's safety. However, this somehow did not sit very well with Allie.
Is Allie Carter being silenced?
I'm sure she is. I hope it's not my fault. I made an outcry to her that I'm willing to talk to her.
But there's more. In another interview, Jaguar was asked about Allie's safety again, being challenged that if Allie was indeed in grave danger, why wasn't she helping her out by getting her into witness protection? And man, did she have a wild response for this. She claimed that Allie was safest where she was at the moment, and that if she got into witness protection, that would be the last time we saw her. She went on by saying all it took was one corrupt government employee and the right amount of money for them to snitch on Allie and have her unalived in a second. These are all some pretty wild claims, not gonna lie.
Why would I want to do that? If Allie Carter goes into witness protection, we'll never see her again. Allie Carter, wherever she is, she's safe right where she
man
is.
Ron.
I can tell you right now, the second that you put your life in the government's hands.
And Allie wasn't done yet. She descended on Jaguar, insinuating that she was a liar, calling her a wolf in truth, telling Clothing, "Now that's just nasty." Allie went on to accuse Jaguar of extorting people for the truth, saying that she was the classic type of wolf who throws you a crumb of scandalous information and then demands money in order to divulge more information after that.
There's so many wolves in Truth Teller Clothing. Here, kitty kitty. Here,
kitty.
She basically called Jaguar a vulture. She basically called Jaguar a vulture who is trying to benefit.
She didn't say Jaguar name directly. And what make it so bad is a lot of her people, because I asked them in the comments and stuff, "Here, kitty, what does that mean?" And they said, well, she's talking about the Black Panthers that are looking for her. And Jaguar Wright is saying that she's lying because the Black Panthers stand for this, that, and other thing, positive stuff. But churches stand for a lot of positive stuff, and you see what's going on in these churches. So to me, I think every organization that has positive things going on accidentally recruit some negative people by accident. So she might have fell in the hands of those Panthers that did negative things by accident. Well, on purpose, of course, allegedly.
Kitty.
I don't think...
She basically called Jaguar a vulture. She basically called Jaguar a vulture who is trying to benefit off the misery of this insane alleged scandal. She talks about wolves having gossip clubs, which slowly reel you in with bits of information and then eventually asks for a payout for the rest. On top of all this, she continues to berate Jaguar with the whole kitty thing, saying that when a kitty doesn't get her way, it points fingers at everyone else. Kind of petty in my opinion, but we're here for all of that.
Now the thing with those wolves in Truth Seller clothing, they want you to give them a Patreon subscription fee, all the money, and I think people have got into this mindset of, if I want the truth, I have to pay money for it. If I want the truth, I have to put it off on somebody else.
She concludes by crying out.
I don't think she's talking about Jaguar. She's talking about other channels and different things that's asking, because there's a lot of channels out there saying that I got the truth, but you got to pay for it. Jaguar doesn't do that. She doesn't do that at all.
For the young ones involved in all of this yet again, saying that nobody ever talks about them. She claims that anytime the youngins are talked about, it is because they're trending. Nobody calls for action for the young ones unless there's some financial gain to it. Sad indeed.
Do they never waver from the children? A lot. How many times do they tell you about the children? How many times do they tell you to get up for the children? How many times do they call you to action for the children? How many times do they not waver from the children unless it's trending? When do they talk about the children? Do they only talk about it when it's trending? If they're talking about trafficking, do they talk about the children? Here, kitty. I don't believe in panthers. I believe in a kitty. I know. I've lived with them. I've dealt with them. So I know how they work. If they don't get their way, they point fingers. When they don't get their way, they pull things like Jay-Z pulled when he all of a sudden he don't know, did he?
Now y'all know Jaguar wasn't just gonna sit back after all that berating Allie threw her way. Absolutely not. It wasn't long before Jaguar took to YouTube again to clap back at Allie. Jaguar outrightly told Allie to stop clout chasing with her name, saying that she should stop running around lying on her.
Don't clout chase me. Even if it is for your protection. I am not Lamisha Fuller. I'm not running around lying on you, trying to convince people you got stuff that...
She added that everyone should stand on their own merit, not just piggybacking off other people's fame and supposedly fan base. She continued by saying that she indeed does not wish any harm to become of Allie, but says that lying on her won't get her the protection she desperately needs. Jaguar concluded by telling Allie that she should stop doing negative content on her, as it will only get her into even more trouble.
Stand on your own merit. Do I want any harm to befall you? Absolutely not. But if you're looking for protection...
Well, it's evident Jaguar wasn't really fazed by any of Allie's words and possibly wants the best for her. But she is also throwing subtle blows at Allie, and she goes on another interview to clear up everything. She claims that she just doesn't speak out of thin air, that she has receipts to back up everything she says and is not just clout chasing as many people think. She adds that things are about to get very real, and nobody can ignore it anymore.
They say I don't have receipts, yet everywhere I point and tell people to go look, they found something that was hidden, thrown down in the algorithm, sitting right there online, right in front of their very faces. I don't really have much feeling about stupidity. It's just stupidity. What do you mean coming? It's always been here. People have chosen to ignore it. Things are about to get real and they're not going to be able to ignore it anymore. That's all.
Man, I'm about to go watch Apocalypto one more time.
And she wasn't done. She continued by saying that there will be a surge of more crazy stories, that more people will come out wanting to tell their side of the story, and we just have to pay attention to the fakes. She goes on to give us the telltale signs of a fake, saying that we can only spot a fraud by looking at what all the parties involved have to gain or lose. If the gain leans forward to one side a little bit too much, then that is evidence enough that they are dealing with a phony.
What do you think about all the people that are now coming out with these very alluring stories, or we've seen it now? Like, we have a lot of that going on now. What do you think about?
There's going to be a lot more. We just have to pay attention for the fakes. That's all.
Now, when you first started, you do this for the victim. What would be a sign or a tell where you can know that the individual is trying to be what you are, but not being truthful? Like, what should we look for?
Pay attention to what everyone involved has to gain and to lose. And if it looks like the gain sits on one side or predominantly on one side, that should be enough to let you know everything you need to know.
Jaguar is basically warning us of the frauds hidden among us, saying that many of us want to believe these frauds. She adds by saying that they are now trying to prove that she is a liar using AI receipts, luckily to no avail. It looks like our girl Jaguar is not backing down from anything, and she is definitely not going to be intimidated by all the gimmicks they're trying to throw her way.
But see, when Ali Carter came back and, also addressed it, now that's just dead. They wanted to believe those phonies. They wanted to believe those fakes. Just like they wanted to believe Courtney Burgess, Ariel Kidd, Chris Parr. It's funny. I said on Piers Morgan and I said, he's gonna start little fires everywhere and force everyone else to carry water while he walks away with no response. Isn't that what we've seen happen ever since I did Piers Morgan?
Have you been getting any apologies for that?
No, they're still trying to prove me a liar with AI receipts.
Have you gotten any lawsuits from over on that side? Like, hey, we're gonna find you.
The weirdest.
Because they're saying lawsuits are coming.
No. Ain't nobody.
Now that's the weirdest right there. No lawsuits. Ali Carter been saying all this stuff, and nobody's put a gag order on her allegedly.
Got any lawsuits from over on that side? Like, hey, we're gonna find you. We're gonna because they're saying lawsuits are coming.
No. Ain't nobody sued. Y'all been knowing me for how long?
In the dawn of this controversial feud against Ali and Jaguar, fans out there are all left wondering what is actually really going on in the background. It now seems like these two are in a competition to see who is the greatest truth teller, and they both look like they're losing the plot as to why they started speaking out in the first place. They can't seem to put their egos aside for the greater truth, and it's all getting a bit too messy for our liking. The only question left to ask now is if Ali's clapback at Jaguar actually holds any weight. Is Jaguar really the liar? Is she in fact doing all this just to get a payout? Drop your thoughts down in the comments section and like and subscribe for more juicy content about the deep, dark secrets of the showbiz industry.
I don't know, man. I done said enough. Y'all drop y'all comments just like he said. Hey, I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.